Hello, and welcome to another episode of Armbar Audio. I'm your host, Tim Farley, and next to me is my trusty companion.
John Jones. What's up, everybody?
And if you haven't already done so, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and share this out to all of your wrestling fans. Friends, not fans. They're fans, but they're your friends. Yay!
Oh, yeah.
And also, after you watch the video, or while you're watching the video, leave a comment of what you liked or disliked about AEW or NXT from this Wednesday night.
Yes, we want to spark wrestling conversation with all of you.
So, first we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite, which came live from the Jericho,
Well,
not live,
it was a
from the Jericho Cruise.
the Rockin' Wrestling Rager at Sea, baby.
All right. The first match was for the tag team titles SCU versus Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. John, what did you think about this match?
This was a high octane, hard hitting, awesome contest between two good friends that are a somewhat new tag team and a very established, well known, awesome tag team. And I very much enjoyed everything with the ongoing storyline about the dissension within the elite.
Yeah.
With Hangman, like it's all focused primarily on Adam Page, which I like a lot.
Yeah. They're definitely creating new stars by using their bigger stars and to maximize the younger talent.
Yes.
And Page is one of them. Um, People love to chant cowboy shit.
Yeah.
There was great tandem offense from SCU in the beginning. SCU looked like a well-oiled machine. That was until uh, we got a more bang for your buck like move by Page and Kenny. V trigger, but Sky got out of the one winged angel, and hit an avalanche Rana. The end came when Hangman rolled Kazarian up for the win. The new and first title change in AEW, Page and Omega win the championships. Page doesn't want the Bucks out there to celebrate and leaves and drinks with the fans and gets crowd surfed.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks came out to congratulate them. Page didn't want anything to do with it. Seems like there's egos about to burst within the elite.
Yeah. Wait,
The next match was Britt Baker against Priscilla Kelly. John, what'd you feel about this match?
Good stuff. Definitely a slowdown from the beginning to get people like the highs and lows going. Not that this match was a low point, but um, Britt Baker completely different than how she's been previously. I am sensing a heel turn.
Yes. I will say this. Priscilla Kelly sold her ass off in this match. Really good job by her. It was the Britt Baker show. And that was further exacerbated by or exacerbated, whatever, by Tony Schiavone interviewing her post match. And Britt Baker said that she's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's a dentist, and the people look up to her. The people don't look down on Tony. Don't worry, Tony. Even though this is your bread and butter, and before this you were a shitty barista at Starbucks, which is completely untrue but hilarious. And JR was very angry as they went to a commercial break.
Yeah, JR actually cut it off, saying, "Okay, we've heard about it. Enough of this," and cut it off and sent it to commercial.
Britt Baker won the match with the lockjaw, by the way.
Which I like more use of the commentators to move the show along.
Yes. And we got to see that again later on in the evening. The next match was the Jurassic Express against the Inner Circle of Proud and Powerful against Chris Jericho,
Well,
the
teaming
champion.
up with the champion.
Yes. Marco Stunt came out wearing a lifeguard vest.
Awesome.
There was a lot of Hurricane Ranas and drop kicks by Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus.
Yeah, Jungle Boy was definitely the star of this match.
Luchasaurus was cleaning house left and right until Jake Hager got involved, and Luchasaurus went up the ramp with him. Marco Stunt. How about Marco Stunt?
How about Marco Stunt? How about it? Getting a lot of stuff in there with Chris, with the champion. Even brought up by JR on commentary when he said that Marco has the speed to pull off these moves, but doesn't have the power to keep Jericho down.
Yes. Most specifically, he hit a 450 splash, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
Eventually, the Judas effect found its mark on Marco Stunt, and the Inner Circle prevailed. The next match was MJF versus Joey Janella, and I'm going to tell you right now, this match was the only things that were good about it were the furthering of storylines between Janela and Kip Sabian and MJF and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, this was very much this seemed very much like a get these two on the show so that we can put this out.
Right.
Yeah.
Janela was going for a top rope elbow drop, but got distracted by Kip Sabian, who came out on stage with Penelope Ford and started making out. He then missed that elbow drop, which led to the double cross by MJF. Afterwards, MJF got on the microphone. This led to Cody coming down. MJF made fun of Cody's lisp again. He went to give Cody the mic, but dropped it, kicked it out of the way. Cody said, "I can't touch you. You're right, but these guys can." And we got a super kick pull party.
Yeah, MJF turns around and the Young Bucks are right there. They get the double super kick. And Cody says, "Should we throw Max into the pool?" To thunderous applause and cheers. And then they threw MJF into the pool.
Yes, which was a delight.
And then the Rock and Ragers chanted, "He can't swim, he can't swim," because MJF was splashing around and I'm sure faking that he couldn't swim, but it was perfect.
Right. The next segment was Omega and Paige getting interviewed by Tony Schiavone. Paige is drinking alcohol and Omega is drinking hot tea. Paige says I
like both of those things.
Whoop their ass, and he did. But Schiavone cuts him off and asks Omega about Pac. Omega says Pac is human excrement and he will get his rubber match. The Young Bucks come back out to congratulate them.
And immediately Paige's face changes.
Paige tells them, "I'm a little surprised that we got these titles before you guys did," taking a little dig at the Bucks. They then went to a break.
Yeah, Nick instantly noticed that as well. Matt didn't seem to at first, but Nick picked up on it right away.
We then got announcements for next week. Darby Allin and Private Party versus the Inner Circle. Cody versus Kip Sabian. And the Young Bucks versus the Butcher and the Blade. Plus a word from whoever has won the #1 contendership tonight. That match happened next, and it was the main event. Pac versus Jon Moxley. Jericho's out on commentary. Jericho says if there's a #1 contender match, he wants to be right here to see it. Pac targeted the eye throughout the match, which was amazingly done.
Yeah.
He even hit like a jawbreaker.
Yeah, jawbreaker
to the eye. They ended up brawling up into the
upper
deck.
to the upper deck of the boat. Yeah. At one point, Pac in a fit of rage, ripped the bandage off of Moxley's face and started punching him in the injured eye.
Yes, which led to Moxley hitting a double arm DDT and then a paradigm shift for the win for the number one contendership. And Jericho says, I'm going to finish what I started at Revolution. So we have our main event for Revolution. Jon Moxley challenging Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
And I think that title's changing hands. But that's just my early prediction.
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
All right. So, what would you grade AEW this week?
Now, though the atmosphere of the show itself was very cool, the matches were mostly average for the event. I would say that it definitely had a sense of, hey, look, we're on a boat of the show, and without much thought put into the actual show itself.
Well, not the show. I wouldn't say the show. I would say the matches.
Yeah, the matches.
Because the show,
even though Moxley
storylines really well.
Yeah, Moxley and Pac was great. The
tag
Jurassic Express match was good.
Yeah,
tag title match was great. But as far as storylines go, for furthering storylines, it's an A.
Yes.
For matches, B plus.
I would say that the crowd atmosphere is an A plus.
Yeah.
The furthering of storylines was an A plus. The matches was a solid B.
Yeah.
Possibly a B minus for me. Okay, getting into this week's NXT. It started off with the Dusty Classic semifinal match between the Undisputed Era and the Grizzled Young Vets. This was a strike fest. All strikes, all match.
All hands throwing hands.
Imperium music plays, and they're on the perched-like balcony of the NXT Full Sail Arena, and the Grizzled Young Vets advance with the ticket to mayhem. It was an okay match.
Yeah, it was an okay match. A lot of focus on Imperium and Undisputed Era, which makes sense because we're getting that 4-on-4 at Worlds Collide, which is on Saturday.
The next match was Io Shirai versus Toni Storm. This was a great match where both had time to shine. Toni catches the Tiger feint kick and drop kicks Io through the ropes, but this is where the match breaks down. Belair comes down and spears, then hits the KOD on Toni Storm. Belair wants Rhea, not Toni, is what the commentators are saying. Rhea comes out, and Belair and Rhea beat each other up on the mat. Rhea gets up and gets springboard drop kicked by Io. Io hits an acai moonsault, but is quickly taken out by a suicide dive by Toni. Toni held the title up to boos.
Yeah.
What'd you think of this segment, John?
I think, like Mauro said, it's pretty clear that the crowd wants Rhea and Belair, not Belair and Toni.
Yeah.
I was honestly a little surprised to hear Toni Storm get booed.
I'm going to be honest with you. If Belair held the title up, I think she would have got booed too.
Yeah.
I think if the places were switched, it would be the same because they are fully behind Rhea.
Yeah, of course they are, and they're always they're going to be. They should be. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to both of these matches. Getting Toni versus Rhea on Saturday, and whoever wins that, I'd have to assume whoever wins that against Belair at Portland.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The next match was Finn Balor versus Joaquin Wilde. What did you remember about this match, John?
I remembered Joaquin's entrance gear. I remembered Finn hitting a brutal 1916 DDT, and not much else.
Finn Balor whooped that ass. Shayna is interviewed in the back and says Shotzi ended her career before it even started. and she will go through every woman in the locker room to become a 3-time champion. This leads into Shayna Baszler versus Shotzi Blackheart. The crowd is behind Shotzi early on. Both dump each other outside as a callback to the Battle Royal last week. Shotzi with some nice offense, even with a sliced bread number 2 on the apron. Shotzi misses a senton, and Shayna locks in the clutch, and Shotzi finally taps. Shayna doesn't break for quite some time. This was a really good match to get Shotzi Blackheart over.
Yeah.
If you want to get somebody over, have them throw out Shayna Baszler. Have them in a match and do some offense against Shayna Baszler. Great booking here. Great booking here
Yeah,
for Shotzi.
they're building the shit out of Shotzi Blackheart, and I love to see it because Shotzi was one of my favorite standouts on the indie scene before coming around to NXT.
Yeah. We then got a Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai video package with Dakota Kai saying that it's about time for another injury to Tegan Nox. Tegan was upset that Dakota Kai took away 2 opportunities for her, or historic moments, as she said. We get a match between them next week. The next Dusty Classic semifinal was the Broserweights versus Imperium. And boy, did this match fucking rock.
Oh yeah, it was awesome, amazing. First of all, Matt Riddle with very strange hair choices.
2 cornrows.
2 cornrows, just 2. Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle, both got their shit in the match.
So did Imperium.
This was shit in.
This was a fantastic tag team match.
It really was.
And
tag team clinic.
Yeah. Pete Dunne nearly took Eichner's head off as Eichner kept hitting the ropes, and he finally got hit with a clothesline.
Yeah.
Dunne avoided Eichner and moonsaulted off the apron onto Bartel. Riddle got the hot tag and took it to Imperium. Riddle and Dunne step on Eichner's hands and penalty kick them in unison. A wheelbarrow DDT by Imperium to Dunne, but Riddle saves the match. A wrist lock by Dunne on Eichner, and Riddle puts Bartel in an ankle lock. Jackhammer by Riddle on Eichner for 2. A GTS Enziguri by the Broserweights for the advancement in the Dusty Classic. The grizzled young vets come out and say all these neckbeards in Full Sail believe Pete Dunne is the best thing to come out of the UK, but he's the most selfish. And every time they've tried to get ahead, Dunne has been the roadblock. Riddle says,
Well, he referred to them as whatever you're calling yourselves, Broserweights, joint manipulation, which got a laugh from the crowd because we all know Matt Riddle likes to party, as they say.
Yeah, his favorite time is 420.
Yeah. His favorite month is April. Favorite date is April 20th. So Matt Riddle's like, bro, I'm not even sure what you just said. You said something about manipulating a joint, and then I kind of stopped paying attention and started daydreaming.
And then the crowd chanted,
Riddle's gonna smoke you. And Pete says,
these two just reminded
while
everyone.
you were daydreaming, these two just reminded everyone that every time they got in the ring with me, they've lost.
And they're going to lose next week, bro. Dunne said bro, which was cool. The main event was the NXT North American title match. Roderick Strong with his Undisputed Era alongside him against Bask in his glory, Keith Lee.
He is limitless.
This match was very well booked and very well thought out. Lee had,
especially given the short time that they got.
They had about 20, 25 minutes.
Well, about 20, but as we were watching, fast forward through commercials because commercials are boring.
Yes.
As the time kept going and going and going, we were like, okay, are they like going to start this match soon? Because it was getting to the end there.
Well, what happened was Keith Lee had Strong's number early on, and Beal throwed him out of the ring.
Yeah.
But for most of this match, Keith Lee's left ankle was getting worked by Strong. He threw it into the steel steps. He put it in between the steel steps and the ring and kicked the steel steps. He put on multiple ankle locks. Keith Lee got in some offense here and there with power slam and a one-handed slam and a flapjack of sorts. Um, the end came when all of the Eric got up on the ring and Keith Lee knocked each one of them down. Roderick Strong caught him with a knee strike in the face and then a one-leg drop kick for 2. Rod hit the ropes because he was going intense this whole match, but Keith Lee caught him in a fireman's carry into the big catastrophe for the 1, 2, 3, and we get a new NXT North American champion in Keith fucking Lee.
Yes. Long overdue, well earned, well deserved, really. And we start to see the destruction of the prophecy.
Yes.
The Undisputed Era prophecy.
Now, if you remember when we talked about the Dusty Classic in the beginning, we both chose Imperium, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I guess, that whole shindig is over. It's going to happen at Worlds Collide against the Undisputed Era.
Right.
They're not going to go for the tag titles. But it looks like the team from War Games, was it the team? Pete Dunne wasn't involved, but whatever. I think Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle are going to win, and they're going to take the tag titles. Yeah. I think that Ciampa is going to get his title back at Portland. I think the Undisputed Era's time reigning supreme is in jeopardy. I hope I'm right.
I'll tell you what, man. They're pulling Adam Cole up. At probably after Portland.
Will they pull all of them together?
I don't know.
I hope so.
I don't think they will.
I hope they do.
Adam Cole has, every time he appears on another show, he gets the big reaction. The other guys really don't.
Well, that's why they have to be in a group.
I agree with you. I'm just saying I don't know what they're going to do. After the conclusion of the match, of the main event, Imperium came out and brawled with the Undisputed Era to close out the show. Walter chopped the ever-loving soul out of Adam Cole.
And he flipped. Adam Cole flipped
from a chop.
It was fantastic. Getting into something else. We said that on Friday we would be on DJ Storm's show for the rundown for Worlds Collide. We will no longer be doing that. If you want to know why, just DM us, whatever. We're not going to talk about it here. Yeah. Wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, you have a great one. And peace and love to all of you.